There's snow in the mountains, but the drought continues in parts of La Plata County. A citizens group wants to build a multi-million-dollar arts complex on the banks of the Animas River in downtown Durango and find out why a community garden is considered an economic development project. I'm Ashley Dixon, and you're watching Inside Durango News.
You're watching Inside Durango News, your source for information about Southwest Colorado. Brought to you by Oxford Asset Management, inspiring confidence, growing dreams. Oxford Asset Management.
Durango residents value their green transportation, but sometimes riding that bike on your morning and evening commute can be a little scary, especially in heavy traffic. Now the roadways are about to get a whole lot safer for bikers and pedestrians with the new continuous flow intersection now under construction at U.S. Highways 550 and 160. The Colorado Department of Transportation partnered with the City of Durango's multimodal unit and took a close look at other cities that successfully improved cyclist and pedestrian access. The two organizations also asked residents and local businesses about the improvements they wanted to see, and safety was at the top of everyone's lists. Cyclists can look forward to interconnected bike lanes on 160 and 550 as well as portions of College Drive. While bike lanes are nothing new in Durango, these lanes will have bright green pavement markings, clearly highlighting where cyclists have the right of way. Cyclists who want to turn onto Highway 550 will now have a safer way to cross the busy road with the two-stage bike boxes that will be placed bikers in front of vehicle traffic at turn signals, a model that has had tremendous success in towns like Portland, Oregon. A new bicycle detection device will be installed at the junction of 550 and 160 so that northbound cyclists that want to turn west onto 160 will have their own protected traffic light to cross the street. In an interview with Inside Durango News, CDOT transportation engineer Tommy Humphrey said that the multimodal aspects of the intersection redesign will eliminate any confusion about where cyclists belong on the roadway. Pedestrians can look forward to new features like curbed islands, raised crosswalks, and a new rapid flash beacons to alert drivers when people are trying to cross the road. There will be raised curb islands at 7th Street on Camino del Rio, on Highway 160 and the Dog Park, and at 3 of the 4 quadrants at Camino del Rio and College Avenue. These areas will provide pedestrians with a place to wait that's physically separate from the roadway, while providing a shorter distance to cross. A raised crosswalk will be added to the right-hand turn at College and Camino del Rio, putting the focus on pedestrians crossing the street instead of motorists moving into traffic, said Humphrey. The raised crosswalk, also known as a speed table, creates a 6-inch rise in the lane, providing a physical reminder to motorists to slow down and yield to pedestrians in that area. Amber Blake, director of the city's multimodal department, said that CDOT did a great job of understanding how important the U.S. Highway 160 and 550 intersection is to making traffic throughout Durango run smoothly. Blake equated it to the arteries in a human heart. If one area gets clogged up, it affects the whole system. Blake added that while construction on the continuous flow intersection may cause a few motorists headaches in the short term, in the long run the improvements will showcase Durango as a town that places emphasis on safe, multimodal transportation. All you have to do is look out the window to know that it's dry in La Plata County. In fact, Durango received only 3 inches of precipitation from November through March, less than half of what it normally receives for moisture during the winter. Even Durango Mountain Resort experienced below average snowfall with a total accumulation of 202 inches for the season, 22% below the average snowfall of 260 inches a year. In addition, the U.S. Drought Monitor ranks the majority of southwest Colorado as abnormally dry, with the southern part of La Plata County experiencing level 1 drought conditions. Although it may be perched at lower elevations, local water resource experts say there's enough snow in the mountains from February and March storms to fill area reservoirs, and that means farmers will get the water they need to irrigate their crops and pastures this summer. Area reservoirs began filling earlier this winter with early snowmelt and are already between 50 and 75% full. Vallecito Reservoir is at 75% capacity, with snow depths in its primary drainage at 90% of average. Vallecito is particularly good shape this year because the Bureau of Reclamation and Pine River Irrigation District installed bubblers near the release gates in the dam. The bubblers keep the water from freezing and damming the gates, and as a result, the reservoir was able to store more water during the winter months than it has in the past. Lemon Reservoir is at 45% of its capacity and is expected to fill from its drainages. McPhee Reservoir on the Dolores is about half as full as of April 1st. A Bureau of Reclamation spokeswoman said that the reservoir won't fill to capacity, but it will have enough water for all the users that rely on its storage. Navajo Lake will experience below average levels again this year. It's at a 59% capacity, higher than last year, but snowpack in the upper San Juan River drainage is at 65% of average, so the reservoir will experience below average flows and elevations. Elevations at Jackson Gulch Reservoir north of Mencos will likely remain lower than average this year as well. It's at 32% of capacity, with snowpack in the western drainages of the La Platas at 60% of average. The Animas River drainage is expected to produce enough water to meet the needs of even the most junior water rights holders, said Reach Leach, an engineer with the Durango office of the Colorado Division of Water Resources. Snowpack in Mineral Creek, Molas, Red Mountain, and Elbert Creek drainages is about 10% above average and should provide good runoff for rafting season on the Animas. While the mountain snowpack and reservoirs will help mitigate the drought in La Plata County this summer, what's the long-range forecast for precipitation? Well, it depends on the forecaster. Harrison Mann Climatology, a private forecasting service that provides data for commodities brokers and farmers, predicts a return to normal precipitation levels and lower than average temperatures in southwest Colorado this summer. On the other hand, NOAA, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, predicts continued drought. No matter who you believe, if you don't like the weather in southwest Colorado, just wait 10 minutes and it'll change.
At Durango Motor Company, we offer one low price, plain and simple, always.
Our sales consultants aren't paid on commission, so they can get you in the vehicle that fits your needs.
We want to provide our guests with an enjoyable car buying experience. Right now we have the new 2013 Ford F-150 crew cabs on our lot for $31,102 and the new 2013 hybrid Ford C-Max for $22,064.
No haggling, no games, just one low price.
We're Durango Motor Company, a new company with a new philosophy.
Durango Party Rental is the source in the Four Corners for weddings and special events. We offer the largest and highest quality selection of tents and events equipment in the area. Our full-service professional event consultants can provide the care and attention to detail that result in a flawless event, so you can relax knowing you are in good hands. Be sure to check out our incredible private event venue at La Platte Pond. Give us a call or visit our website to see how we can help you put it all together perfectly.
You're watching Inside Durango News. I'm Ashley Dixon. If the number of art galleries, music festivals, and art fairs is any indication, you could say that the Durango art scene has exploded in the past 10 years. And that's why local art patrons say it's time to build a new multi-million-dollar arts and cultural center that can handle the demand. The Durango City Council on April 1st approved an application for an Energy Impact Assistance Grant through the Colorado Department of Local Affairs to conduct a feasibility study on a new arts complex that would be built next to the Discovery Museum at the current Animas City Hall and Fire Station. Called STEAM, the project would create a science, theater, education, arts, and music park, along with facilities that would allow a new art center, art galleries, musical and theatrical performance spaces, offices, artist studios, restaurants, and retail businesses on the Animas River Trail. The city of Durango has ponied up $10,000 in matching funds, along with $27,000 from art organizations and private donors to match the energy grant. If awarded, the combined funds will pay for the feasibility study that's expected to cost $150,000. The STEAM project would replace the current Durango Arts Center, built in the mid-90s in a former Morehart Chevrolet garage and car repair center at 8th Street and 2nd Avenue. A rendering of the proposed project by Durango architect Rick Feeney depicts a sculpture garden and an interactive science park adjacent to the Discovery Museum and an arts facility that would house the Durango Arts Center, Music in the Mountains, the San Juan Symphony, and the Durango Film Festival. The cost? That's what the feasibility study will determine, said Sherry Rockford Figs, who has been hired by a group of private arts donors to spearhead the project. The feasibility study will assess what the community wants and needs, develop a site and building plan, and estimate construction and operating cost. It's also recommended funding options, which could include private fundraising, a tax referendum to voters, or a combination of both. Similar feasibility studies launched construction of the Durango Recreation Center and Library, said Rochford Figs. STEAM proponents said it's now time to invest in the arts. The current Arts Center has grown obsolete, they say. It can no longer handle the demand for exhibits, performances, classes, and other activities. They also say that a few new arts and sciences complex on the Animas River Trail would be a boon to economic development. In a 2010 economic impact study, the Americans for the Arts organizations estimated that nonprofit arts and culture organizations and their audience generated more than $9 million in spending each year in La Plata County. Rockford Figs said that the probability is a low estimate. If the city decides to build the steam project, it will have to relocate River City Hall and build a new fire station. Preliminary cost estimates exceed $30 million. For more information about the STEAM project, contact the Durango Arts Center. A drive over Wolf Creek Pass has turned into a scene of devastation as the spruce beetle epidemic continues to spread throughout southern Colorado. Since 1996, spruce beetles have infected more than 1 million acres of Colorado forestry, and in 2013, 398,000 acres were damaged, the largest annual growth in the since the infestation records began. Southern Colorado has become a hotspot for spruce beetle activity, with thousands of dead standing spruce easily spotted from the roadsides of the Rio Grande, San Juan, and Gunnison National Forests. And Chris Strebig of the U.S. Forest Service told Inside Durango News that the outbreak is rapidly expanding. A Forest Service website indicates that the infestation grew by 398,000 acres in 2013, a 54% increase over the previous year's spread. Similar to the pine beetles, spruce beetles bore into the bark of the fallen trees, lay eggs, hatch, and infest healthy trees. With warmer winters, the beetles are able to survive longer, so their numbers continue to increase. Because of the large scale of infestation, there's not much that anyone can do other than allow the natural succession of new trees to replace the dead. Currently, the Forest Service is planting a variety of tree species to accelerate revegetation. It also creates trap trees that are intentionally felled to attract spruce beetles and then removed. The Forest Service also employs timber sales to ensure newly infested trees don't go to waste. The spruce beetle epidemic has a minor benefit: economic development. The number of lumber mills and associated jobs has grown thanks to the increase of harvestable timber. That economic benefit could be offset by fire, however. Although the relationship between spruce beetle infestation and forest fires is complex, last year's fires in the Rio Grande National Forest near South Fork demonstrated how quickly dead trees ignite and spread fire. To learn more about the spruce beetle and other infections and diseases in our region, visit the Forest Service website at fs.usda.gov. After the break, learn how a garden drives economic development.
Meet Dan and his dog Bongo. They started their own dog biscuit company, but Dan wanted more. So Dan worked with Fast Signs. They created a plan to attract more customers, get more business, wag more tails. Still, Dan wanted more, and Fast Signs provided more. Fast Signs help with digital displays, mobile marketing, merchandising, fleet graphics, and more. Now Dan has more sales, more locations, more of the good life. And more is exactly what Fast Signs delivers. More than fast, more than signs, more than 530 locations worldwide.
For natural and organic vitamins and supplements and health and beauty products, there's no better place than Nature's Oasis. We offer an experienced staff, nutrition and supplement education, and exclusive products. Nature's Oasis, home to the largest selections of vitamins and supplements in the Four Corners region. It's time for rejuvenation with luxurious healing waters, breathtaking views, and lavish spa treatments at the Springs Resort and Spa in Pagosa Springs. Stay at the new Ecolux Hotel and enjoy 24-hour access to our 23 unique pools by the river. Indoors, relax in the hotel and enjoy therapeutic services at the spa. It's time for rejuvenation at the Springs Resort and Spa in Pagosa Springs.
So the Garden Project of Southwest Colorado is a local nonprofit. We've been around since 1998, and during that time we've helped develop 19 different school and community gardens in the Plata County. Our mission is to help grow a healthier community through the support and development of school and community garden programs that promote health and wellness, environmental stewardship, and a sustainable local food system.
Oh, it's just terrific. Just all the work that's gone into it with our families and students coming out, just to build the project has been a wonderful adventure. And to be here in the spring and getting ready to do a planting is going to be even more fun. You know, it's really funny, just a couple days ago a ball bounced over here and the kids went to ask permission if they could come get the ball out of the garden as if it had been a ball kicked into the street. So the kids are really kind of looking at this place as something new, and they're not quite sure what to make of it.
So the gardens serve the elementary school kids and the cafeteria, like you were saying. We have 2 other showcase gardens here in Plata County. The first is the Manna Soup Kitchen Garden, and that garden generates about 50 pounds of produce every week during the growing season, and all of those fruits and vegetables go directly into their soup kitchen to feed the homeless clients and the needy families. We also have the Ohana Kuleana Community Garden, which is a brand new community garden on 30th and 6th. We have 40 families working in that garden. It's available to everyone. We also have several organizations which are part of that, like Riverview Elementary School, the Boys and Girls Club, and the La Plata Family Center. So I'm standing on the month of April right now, and let's see where my shadow falls. Right in between 12 o'clock and 1 o'clock. Look at my watch, it's 12:36 right now. So the Enterprise Zone is a great designation. It helps communities focus on projects that are really giving back to the community in certain areas. That's why it's a zone. With a $250 donation, any business or individual will get a tax credit for their donation and be able to contribute to really wonderful programs in our community, which make a difference to kids, at-risk youth, needy families in terms of food security and environmental education.
Today, Dad's moving into Sunshine Gardens.
We're all really excited.
You sure are a hit around here. Woo!
And once he's settled in, I'm sure he'll come out of his shell.
I hear they even have a happy hour. How about that?
Yeah. Well, I think he's going to like it here just fine.
You know, honey, I think you're right.
Next, a new feature called Inside Durango Medicine. Once a month, we'll visit with a local doctor who will provide you with tips on health, wellness, and other topics. This week, what you should do if you injure your wrist or hand from a fall. Then stay tuned when we visit with Artistic Director Gregory Hustis about this year's Music in the Mountains Festival.
So we're at Animas Orthopedic Associates. This is the practice I work in. I also operate out of Animas Surgical Hospital. I am an orthopedic surgeon, and I have subspecialty training in hand and upper extremity injuries. When I did my fellowship at USC, we saw a broad variety of injuries. I focused mostly on the upper extremity injuries, which included a lot of hand fractures, hand and wrist sprains, wrist fractures, elbow fractures, shoulder fractures, and as well as clavicle fractures. The most common cause of hand and wrist fractures is typically falls. Industrial accidents come in a distant second. Falls are definitely the most common. There's a few simple things that can be done to avoid falls, especially in the senior citizen population. Regularly seeing your doctor to be evaluated for your vision, for your balance, and for osteoporosis can be helpful. Low blood pressure or low blood sugars in diabetics can also lead to falls. So some of the red flag signs that you've got something severely wrong with your wrist would include worsening pain, worsening swelling, like a pale or bluish color to the skin, or any numbness. And if you see these warning signs, you should see a physician or go to the emergency room as soon as possible. So the reason why I was attracted to the subspecialty of hand surgery was due to the complexity of the hand. There are a lot of structures that run through the hand. There's a lot of bones. The coordination of the muscles and tendons is very important. When somebody has a hand injury, I feel it's very important for them to see someone who is well trained in that type of injury. If someone falls and injures their arm, their wrist, their hand, you don't necessarily have to start off by seeing your primary care physician. You don't even really need to go to the emergency room as long as you seek appropriate treatment quickly. My office is available for immediate visits the same day or within 1 or 2 days, and I have slots available on my schedule to fit in people that have acute injuries that need to be seen quickly.
Well, and it looks like the best thing to do is just avoid falling in the first place. Today in our studio, we have Greg Hustis from Music in the Mountains, which is celebrating its 28th year here in Durango. Thanks so much for joining us.
My pleasure. Glad to be here.
And I know you've been involved with Music in the Mountains since the very beginning, so give us a little bit of a brief history of how it all started.
Well, actually, I started in the second year, and in the first year, Misha Simoninski, our founder, brought 9 people here, and had a very, very small concert series, but it was the germ of what we have today, which is 3 weeks of true festival. Concerts going on all through the area, plus our conservatory at the college.
Very nice, and I think it's good to note, a lot of people think that you're just up at Durango Mountain Resort, but this year you've expanded, you're in a couple of parks, some churches, really bringing it more into town, which I think will probably make it more accessible as well.
Well, we're trying to be something for the entire community. So yes, we are at the tent at DMR, which is truly wonderful, but we have 2 concerts at the concert hall. We are in Buckley Park for the first time. We are back at Rotary Park for our family festivo. We're back at St. Columba. We're at a couple other churches. We're really trying to be as many places as we can for the short period of time we're here.
Lots of traveling, I guess.
It's not too bad. It's not too bad. It could be worse. The scenery's great everywhere we go.
Yeah, you can't complain. Summertime in Durango. Now, you mentioned the conservatory, and that's kind of under the umbrella of Music in the Mountains, correct?
That's right. Our conservatory is for young people this year. It's for people who are high school age or college age. And it's a place where people who want to be professional musicians can study, or if they just simply, it's something they do for a hobby, play music, they can play and enjoy themselves for 2 weeks. We have a great faculty led by Matt Albert, who was a member of 8th Blackbird. They won 3 Grammys.
Wow.
And he's a very interesting fellow. The kids will like him. That group is known, they're basically classical music players who have gone into sort of a crossover mode. And those are his roots. So I think what he's trying to do with these kids is simply give them an education that they can enjoy music the rest of their lives, and they can be doctors, lawyers, electricians, or whatever, or professional musicians, but a quality way to spend 2 weeks. In beautiful Durango.
Can't complain, right?
Can't complain.
And so obviously a lot of people associate Music in the Mountains with chamber music, but looking through your schedule, you have lots of different genres represented, which I think is worth talking about too.
Well, we have our regular orchestra concerts, which are probably the most popular, but we also have the chamber music concerts, and all of our chamber music concerts are in Durango itself, not at the resort. And then we're in the various parks. For Todo Mundo, a group will be in Buckley Park. Trying to think where Eileen Ivers is going to be now. She may be back up at the tent. But we do have groups, everything from chamber music to more popular groups that people might see, for instance, in the winter in a place like the college. So we're trying to, what we do is try to bring great music to Durango. We don't hit every genre, but it's certainly not only classical.
Yeah.
We do more than that.
Well, and it's a great excuse to get out for an evening, enjoy some music. Now, I know tickets go on sale very soon.
Next week.
Okay.
And if anybody's interested, and I hope everybody's interested, you can check musicinthemountains.com. Or you can call 970-385-6820.
Okay.
And we're right down there on Main Avenue at 11th Street is our office. Drop in. We have a wonderful staff there, and they'd be very happy to see anybody and give you any sort of information on the proceedings this summer.
Perfect. Well, it sounds like you guys have a great lineup. Tons to keep you busy. I know there's going to be
Absolutely.
lots of going back and forth. So look forward to that. And you can always check out the website if you want to buy your tickets in advance. Get a game plan for the summer when Music in the Mountains returns to Durango. Greg, thanks so much for joining us today.
Much.
We're going to take a quick break, and then we're back with your weekly updates.
This is the story of a company that has its roots in Southwest Colorado. A story about 2 college friends who founded a local business, of their families and the families of their staff, and of generations to come. It's about the concerns we hold, the passions we share, and the bonds that unite us. We are the Wells Group. And for 3 decades, we've been proud to be a part of the Southwest Colorado community.
You're watching Inside Durango News. I'm Ashley Dixon, and here are your community updates. The Durango Arts Center's theater group Applause will present Dr. Dolittle Jr., a classic musical about a wacky veterinarian who can talk to animals in 500 different animal languages. Curtains open at 7 p.m. on Friday, April 4th. Tickets are $8 for children 8 years and older and $7 for children 7 and younger. Buy tickets on what'shappeningdurango.com. The Four Corners Backcountry Horsemen will host its annual track and equipment sale from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. on Saturday, April 5th at the Plata County Fairgrounds. Saddles, bridles, and all sports equipment for the horses and their riders will be for sale to benefit the organization. Visit 4cbhch.org for more information. The High Noon Rotary will host its Masquerade Casino Night from 6 to 9 p.m. on Saturday, April 5th at the Doubletree Hotel. A $50 ticket buys a $5,000 gambling stake to play at blackjack, poker, roulette, and craps. Heavy hors d'oeuvres and a cash bar will be available. Contact Jerome Bledger by emailing him at jerome@wellsgroupdurango.com. That's it for this week's community updates. The community calendar is brought to you by what'shappeningdurango.com. Post your free event today and join the one-stop, easy-to-use events calendar for Durango. I'm Ashley Dixon. Thanks for watching Inside Durango News, and remember, keep watching. You'll like what you see.
Tune in weekly to watch Inside Durango News, your source for information about what's going on in Southwest Colorado. Inside Durango News has been brought to you by Oxford Asset Management, inspiring confidence, growing dreams. Oxford Asset Management.